Derek Chauvin's defense called a former forensic pathologist who argued that Floyd's history of hypertension, heart disease and drug use meant it couldn't be argued conclusively that the cause of his death was being asphyxiated by the officer.
And then he's in a situation where he's been restrained in a very stressful situation, and that increased his fight and flight type reaction, and that would, during restraint, would be considered a homicide. And you put all of those together, it's very difficult to say which of those is the most accurate. So I would fall back to undetermined.
Unlike the prosecution, which has to prove Chauvin is guilty of murder or manslaughter, the defense just has to raise a reasonable doubt in at least one juror's mind that Chauvin is responsible for Floyd's death. Fowler even suggested that carbon monoxide from the tailpipe of the police car adjacent to Floyd while he was being knelt on for almost 9.5 minutes may have been a contributory factor to his death, something the prosecution seized upon.
Did you see any air monitoring data that actually would give you any information as to what amount of carbon monoxide, if any, would have been in Mr. Floyd's breathing zone?
No, because it was not tested.
It was a yes or no question. You haven't seen any, have you?
I have not seen any data.
The prosecution suggested Fowler had misled the jury about the science of asphyxiation and pointed out that Fowler made money out of his medical testimony. Fowler himself is a controversial figure. He's being sued by the family of a 19-year-old black man in Maryland who died after being smothered by police. They accuse him of helping cover up police wrongdoing. As the trial continued in downtown Minneapolis, another case of a black man killed in a police encounter, this time 16 kilometers away in the suburb of Brooklyn Center. 20-year-old Dante Wright was shot dead on Sunday. The officer who pulled the trigger, Kim Potter, was charged with second-degree manslaughter. Those representing the Wright family ridiculed the idea that Potter had reached for her gun thinking it was a taser.
When you look at the fact that you're dealing with a 26-year veteran, if she didn't know in 26 years the difference in size and weight of a gun as opposed to a taser, then how was she a veteran in policing? How was she even on the force that long?
Potter's been released on bail. And once again, hundreds of protesters gathered outside Brooklyn Center Police Station to register their outrage at the death of another young black man needlessly as a result of police escalation that just simply did not need to happen. The response from the security forces, pepper spray, flashbangs, and the threat of arrest. In short, escalation. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.